Hello curlies, it's Mary and welcome back to the Curly Closet. If this is your first time visiting my channel, then welcome. This channel is all about natural hair, but also with a bit of lifestyle and a bit of beauty thrown in from time to time. And if you are returning to my channel, then welcome back. Thank you for coming to hang out with me for a little bit. Now, if you hear a bit of background noise, please excuse me for that, sorry, but I'm filming right by an open window, but the lighting is actually so nice. So I don't usually film in daylight, so this has been a fun experience. Today's video is going to be one more of my closet confessions videos, and today's video is going to be an interesting one. 37, unmarried, childless, and happy. So yeah, this video is about me. So if you didn't know, I was born in 1980, so yes, I just turned 37 years old in August. Team Leo. And there's something really interesting happened to me around this birthday. Like 36 hit me and I was like, okay, 36 is like, okay, grown woman time. Like, I've always been very responsible anyway, ever since I was quite young, but I think 36 came and I was like, okay, like, there's no turning back now. You should really have your grown woman status, and you know, certain things should be together at this point in life. 37 came and I started thinking quite seriously about some stuff, namely marriage, namely children, namely settling down and having that lifelong relationship. And it's just something that I just wanted to bring to my channel and let us have a discussion about. I feel like these days are so different from days gone by, in that I think as women we have a lot more independence. Like, for example, I think years ago in certain places or communities it was pretty much unheard of for an unmarried woman to go and get on an aeroplane and travel solo to another country and spend a certain amount of time on her own, holidaying and traveling around. I'm not saying it didn't ever happen, but I don't think it happened as often as it does happen today. So I feel like we have so many more opportunities to just explore the world and to not have a ton of restrictions put on us as women. At the same time though, I also feel like there are so many, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like there are so many more women in their 30s going into their 40s in more westernized societies who are single and childless. I also feel like those kind of words are very loaded as well. Like single, there's nothing wrong with being single, but I feel like the term single sometimes can be used in almost a derogatory way. And childless is also a very heavy word, because I guess the connotation is that, for example, if you hear the term childless couple, it's like kind of implies that somebody, like, for some medical reason that couple cannot have children, as opposed to childless by choice. These words are used and sometimes I guess they kind of get used as labels, but for where I'm personally going with this conversation is just, I guess I wanted to share my thoughts and feelings about how I feel at this stage of my life being unmarried and childless. Now, I have purposely used the term for myself, unmarried. I wouldn't call myself single exactly, in that I am in a relationship, but we're not married at this point in time. It also makes me think, at this moment in time, being an unmarried woman, I actually feel cool. I feel happier being unmarried now than I was maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Which for me is surprising. I never thought that I would say that ever. I feel like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, me being unmarried, being a single person, was a lot more tied to my self-esteem. I mean, I would go through periods of time where I actually felt really down. And it was a part of a bigger thing for me about self-esteem. But I just felt like, just being single was a really hard place to be. And that's because I didn't really see as much worth or value in myself, because nobody else had seen that in me. Do you see what I mean? Or a man hadn't seen that in me. Now, I am a very, very strong believer in things happen when they're meant to happen. And so I feel like if I was meant to be married by now, I would have been. The fact that I'm not doesn't mean it will never happen. But it just means that it wasn't meant for me at that time. But I believe so strongly in like times and seasons of your life, moments where certain things are meant to happen. That's how I kind of feel about that right now. I also wonder to myself, like, how would I feel if I were not in a relationship, like completely and utterly single and like no prospects in view? Like, how would I feel about that? Would I feel the same? Would I be completely cool? Or would I be like tearing my hair out right now? So I feel like we try to kind of pretend that like age isn't so much of a factor, but the truth is it is. Like, the truth is, humanly, your body is designed to bear children at a younger age, and 20s is a better time than 30s to do that. And I think that's honestly true. But then when I look at myself in my 20s and so many of the things that I was unhappy about within myself, within my family life, within some childhood experiences that I've had, like trying to work through all of that stuff, going to therapy, like all of that kind of stuff. I just think to have put a child into the middle of that, I don't know if that would have been a good look. I feel like I'm in a better place emotionally to look after a child now than I would have been at that age. I think also in 2017 in particular, there's something that I've learned about myself and the way that I operate within relationships. And that is, sometimes I genuinely abandon myself. And when I say that, what I mean is, when I am 100% completely single, there are things that I will just do for myself. If I want to go out to eat, let's say, I will take myself out. I'll just go out to eat somewhere nice. I would do certain things for myself. And then what I have noticed, and it's been a pattern for me over a certain amount of years, I would like not do as much good stuff for myself, but then have this massive expectation that this other person is gonna do this stuff for me. So, and that's what I mean by abandon myself. So I just kind of go, oh well, you know, but you know, I'm not gonna do it. It's not even conscious like that, but I stop kind of looking after myself and think he should do it, and then when he doesn't, I get annoyed, pissed off. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But I feel like for me, in my own personal growth process and emotional and spiritual health this year, one of the biggest things that I have learned to really love myself in a relationship. So being in a relationship but not actually not abandoning myself, making sure that I keep looking after myself inside of a relationship and not putting all these expectations on another person. So that if that person does really, really lovely stuff for me, it's a massive bonus, it's wonderful, it's lovely. If I want something, I'll ask for what I want, but equally I will also give myself the things that I need to give myself. In my growth journey, that's something that has been a great thing for me to learn, and to learn to do that now without having a husband and without having children in the mix is a really positive thing. And I feel like, again, that's one of the reasons why I'm actually kind of cool with it, to be honest. Not to say I don't have a desire. I really do have a desire to get married and have kids. but I genuinely feel like I am where I'm meant to be. If you are a woman in her 30s and you are single, or you are in a relationship but unmarried, if you are without children for whichever reason, I would really like to know what your thoughts are about being in this stage of life, and not having children or not being a married woman. How does it affect you? For me personally, I thank God, I'm very thankful on one level that my family is not that kind of pressurizing family, and they never really have been about finding a relationship, about getting married. On the flip side, it's kind of meant that I've had to be my own proactive person about it, because if I get too relaxed, I just won't be bothered at all, which is also not good. Like, negligence and complacency is not a good look, okay? But it's a good thing. Like, my family's not, you know, I don't feel stressed, but I know that for some people, when they hit a certain age, their family, you know, family members start to make little comments, little digs, you know, so are you gonna find somebody? When are you getting married? And sometimes I feel like sometimes it's focused on women so much more than men as well, which is so unfair. There's so many things that we're given as expectations that we have to free ourselves from. When I say that, what I mean is, for example, the traditional view is that a woman is not supposed to propose to a man is supposed to propose to a woman, right? But then you'll have family members asking a woman, so what's going on? Are you not going to get married? And it's like, well, am I supposed to go out there and propose to somebody? Or what are you suggesting right now? Do you see what I mean? So it's like you're caught between a rock and a hard place, you know? So yes, let me know in the comments below what you think about this topic. I know it can be quite a sensitive topic too, so I'm just asking for everybody to be as considerate as possible in the comments below. And also, please I really don't want to see like the trite comments. What I mean is, you know, those kind of trite comments that mean well but just don't really acknowledge people's real feelings or pain, that are kind of borderline dismissive. I don't really want to hear this in the comments, to be honest. You know, there was ones that starts like, oh, you know, just trust God, God will provide. Like, okay, but this person may be actually hurting right now about this topical conversation. So can you just have some compassion, please? You know, don't get me wrong, I believe in God providing, don't get me wrong, but you get where I'm going with this. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there are any other topics that you might like me to cover in these closet confessions type videos. I will essentially be just doing stuff that occurs to me at the time that it really is in my thoughts personally, but I will also be considering other topics of conversation, and how they may or may not affect me personally. Wishing you health, happiness and beautiful hair. I'll see you again soon on the Curly Closet. Take care. Bye.